Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take your insights and sources and explore what truly matters. Today, we're diving into something I think, well, nearly everyone who travels experiences. The fascinating, sometimes baffling art and maybe accidental habit of collecting mementos. We've received some really insightful material that digs into why we hold on to these physical bits of our journeys and, crucially, how to make them genuinely meaningful rather than just, clutter.
Right. It's about how these seemingly small objects can tell a huge story, maybe a global one, or maybe just a really personal one. We'll look at the common things we all seem to unconsciously pick up, some surprising downsides to collecting, and actually how technology can enhance these physical treasures, not just replace them.
So if you've ever looked at your fridge and thought, wow, that's a lot of magnets, or found a drawer full of old ticket stubs, or maybe you even have a secret stash of airline spoons, I heard that was the thing. Get ready. This deep dive is definitely for you. We're aiming to go from accidental accumulator to maybe intentional curator. Okay, let's get into it. We've all done it right. Picked up a little something almost without thinking. What is it about these souvenirs that pulls us in? Is it just something we're conditioned to do, or is there something, I don't know, deeper going on?
Well, the material we looked at points to some pretty powerful drivers, often working under the surface. First off, it's not just about remembering, it's about anchoring those memories. One source had a great phrase, memory anchors in a leaky brain. I loved that.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Leaky brain.
It really is. Mementos act as these physical triggers. They literally connect you back to a specific moment, a specific feeling, especially when, the dates and names get fuzzy later on. Think about that example of the small copper snake. Someone holds that, and boom.
Instantly back there.
Exactly. They're back on that 2-week road trip. Arizona, Utah, national parks. They even remember hitting a pothole, the people who helped in Monticello. It's sensory.
That memory anchor idea is so potent. It's like they physically embed the experience deeper.
But it's not only for ourselves, right? The sources also talked about bringing travel home for other people.
Absolutely. That's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
They serve as these tangible tokens of appreciation. It's not just what you keep for yourself. It's the thought behind choosing, say, a little bookmark for a friend who loves to read.
Or some nice soap for the person who watched your house.
Precisely. Or that unique silk pocket square for your brother. These aren't just gifts. They're like little embassies of your trip. They show gratitude, share a piece of where you were, and connect you to those back home.
And there's something else, too, almost like a ritual. In a world that's so digital and fast, the physical act of choosing something, holding it, really considering it, it feels different, significant. Exactly. That ritualistic aspect is surprisingly powerful.
Yeah.
In a world where so much is, disposable, the physicality of a memento taps into something deep. A need for tangibility, maybe. Ceremony. It grounds us. It makes us pause. It creates a sense of permanence that, let's be honest, digital files don't always capture in the same way. It's kind of an antidote to the fleeting nature of things now.
It really does often start so innocently, doesn't it? You grab a coaster because the bar felt like home, the sangria was perfect,
Yeah.
maybe a postcard, and suddenly, without really deciding to, you're kind of collecting them.
Oh, yeah. The sources definitely highlight the usual suspects. Fridge magnets came up a lot.
Of course.
They're everywhere. They're cheap, great conversation starters on the fridge. But, as many people admitted, you will run out of fridge space. It's inevitable.
Totally. Then what? The side of the fridge? The dishwasher?
Exactly. Then there are postcards. Easy, nostalgic, lovely images. But they often come with that little pang of guilt if you never actually send them.
Oh, I know that feeling. A pile of good intentions.
Right. And ticket stubs, metro cards, those are fascinating. Accidental time capsules, really personal. But they do pile up, and the ink fades. They become fragile ghosts of the experience.
Looking through the source material, I was laughing at the confession about hotel pens and toiletries.
The original budget souvenir.
Totally. I think we've all slipped a mini shampoo or a branded pen into our bag at some point.
Absolutely. But beyond that, people mention things like holding on to leftover local currency as surprising weight to your wallet.
Yeah, those random coins rattling around forever.
And your scarves and textiles, great wearable memories, but easy to buy way too many.
Guilty.
Pins, patches for backpacks, art prints, even Christmas ornaments came up.
Well, Christmas ornaments are tricky. Lovely idea, but fragile, seasonal.
Yeah.
Easy to forget you even bought them until December.
And we heard some really unique personal habits, too. Like, someone mentioned always having small amounts of foreign change accumulate in their purse. Or having a specific Christmas tree theme, which then dictates checking out every Christmas shop you pass on vacation.
That sounds
Yeah,
potentially exhausting.
right. But my favorite was the person who admitted to a bad habit, their words, of acquiring spoons.
Spoons.
Yeah, specifically from places like airlines or trains. They now have 16.
16 airline spoons. Wow, that's a
Yeah.
dedication or something.
It is. Do they display them? Is it a secret? Who knows? But it really shows how these unexpected things become personally meaningful. It makes you think, doesn't it? What have you accidentally started collecting along the way?
Okay, so collecting is great for memory, for connection. We get it. But let's be real. Anyone who's moved house or just tried to declutter knows there's a very fine line between sentimental treasures and, well, just junk. What are the common traps we fall into? Where does it go wrong?
Yeah, the sources were pretty clear on this. The first big one is definitely the drunk trap.
The junk trap.
It's when you buy something, maybe that snow globe from the airport gift shop, because it seems like the thing to do,
Yeah,
but it doesn't actually hold any real meaning for you, and later it just becomes clutter you feel guilty about tossing.
right. You're curating your future garage sale, basically.
Exactly. The advice was choose carefully. Be honest with yourself about why you're buying it.
And then there's the physical reality luggage.
Oh, absolutely. Luggage limitations are real.
There's nothing particularly noble, maybe just stressful about trying to wrestle a hand-carved rocking chair onto a plane.
Though someone did admit to bringing back a lobster trap from Nova Scotia strapped to their car roof.
No way. A lobster trap. That's impressive and probably slightly mad.
Right. But it highlights the lengths we sometimes go to. Another big pitfall mentioned is unintentionally becoming a collector of one specific thing.
Ah, the accidental theme.
Precisely. You get one, maybe as a gift or just on a whim, like the person who started collecting woolly sheep things after living in New Zealand. Then they went on a trip to South America, went a little crazy, buying more sheep. And then the jump the shark moment, as they put it, buying a llama figure in Peru. They realized they had to stop.
The llama broke the sheep collection.
Apparently so. Other examples were KLM Delft houses, those little blue ceramic houses from the airline.
Oh yeah, those are very collectible.
Very. Also Nespresso pod sleeves, weirdly enough, and even silver-plated teapots for one person. It just happens.
And there's one more thing, maybe less obvious. The emotional side.
That's a really important one. Sometimes mementos carry a lot of emotional weight. Reminders of people we've lost or places that have changed dramatically or even past versions of ourselves.
Things that might be painful or just heavy.
Exactly. And it's important to be mindful of that, knowing when to keep something, when to respectfully let it go, and maybe when a photo or a digital memory is actually enough. That's key to keeping your memories joyful, not feeling burdened by them. So if we want to move from accidental collector to intentional curator, what should we look for? What makes a keepsake genuinely meaningful versus just another trinket? The sources offered a really neat rule of thumb, actually. A good memento should do one of three things. It should tell a story, carry a feeling, or serve a purpose.
Ooh, I like that. Story, feeling, or purpose. That's a great filter. So let's break that down. What are some examples that really work?
Well, things like handwritten ephemera came up, fleeting bits of paper.
Like a napkin from a cafe.
Exactly. A cafe napkin with your order scribbled in Greek or a note passed in a hostel. Incredibly personal, full of feeling.
Yeah, those capture a moment in such a raw way.
Totally. Wearable items are another strong category, like that bracelet from a market in Cusco. It's useful, you wear it, and every time you glance at it, boom, story pops up.
True, it's a constant, subtle reminder.
We also saw natural objects mentioned. A beautiful stone from a hike in Iceland, obviously being mindful of local rules about taking things.
Right, don't strip the national park bare.
Please don't. But a small, found object can be incredibly grounding. It's free, connects you right to the earth of that place. Local artisanal work is another good one. A hand-painted tile from Portugal, say.
Supports local makers, too.
Exactly. Supports makers, it's rich in local design, brings a piece of that specific culture home. And finally, functional pieces. Back to spoons, maybe. Or a beautiful linen tea towel.
Things you actually use.
Right. Things that get integrated into your daily life and spark a little memory each time you use them.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? About being more selective, letting souvenirs be that breadcrumb trail, not just to show other people, hey, I went here, but to remind yourself of who you were or who you became in that place.
That's beautifully put. And honestly, the sources suggested that more than half the fun is the hunt for that perfect, meaningful memento.
Okay, this next part I find really exciting because it feels very now.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily have to choose between dusty old keepsakes and, pixels that vanish if your hard drive crashes. The sources talk a lot about blending the tangible and the digital.
Yes, this was a really strong theme. It's about getting the best of both worlds, creating double the nostalgia triggers. Someone called it creating a full body memory.
Full body memory. I like that.
Yeah. Imagine finding a perfect pressed flower from a park in Paris. You keep the flower, but you also pair it with a photo of you finding it, maybe on your phone. And then you add a little voice note. It was spring. It smelled like hope.
Oh, wow. That adds so much depth.
Doesn't it? It layers the senses. The tangible flower, the visual photo, the auditory reflection. It makes the memory incredibly vivid. And this approach helps keep your physical collection meaningful, maybe smaller, because the digital bits can hold all the extra context and detail.
But it makes gifting even better, too.
How so?
Well, you could create a lovely digital album or story to share online, but then in a physical card, you tuck in just one small tangible thing like a recipe card from a great meal you had or a mini print of a photo.
Ah, that's a fantastic idea. A little physical anchor to the digital story. Very thoughtful.
So what kind of blended ideas came up?
Lots of creative examples. A cafe coaster, but maybe it has a QR code linking to photos and a caption about your afternoon there.
Smart.
A museum ticket stub paid with a voice memo you recorded right after, reflecting on your favorite piece.
Oh, I should do that. I always forget the details later.
Me too. Or bringing back a local spice, but pairing it with a digital PDF of a recipe using it. A pressed leaf or flower alongside a time-lapse video of the view where you found it. Even just a scribble from your travel journal, scanned, alongside a typed transcript and the full backstory.
So many possibilities. What about tools? Does it need to be complicated?
Not at all, actually. Simple tools work best. PhotoScan by Google came up great for quickly digitizing physical things like photos or ticket stubs. An app like Day One for mixing photos, text, audio logs all in one place.
Okay.
Maybe Notion or Canva if you want to get creative and design visual memory boards. Even just Google Photos for tagging and organizing, or Apple Notes for simple storage and pairing text with images.
So pretty accessible stuff.
Very. And one source suggested a simple ritual to make this a regular practice. Choose just 3 small physical items from a trip. Pair each one with a relevant digital artifact, a photo, a note, a sound clip. Label and date them. Store the physical things safely and back up the digital ones.
Simple. Manageable.
Exactly. And the bonus step. Share one of those blended stories. Write a blog post. Send an email. Tell a friend.
Because sharing it reinforces the memory.
Precisely. The act of recounting brings it all back to life. Hashtag tag 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 outro. You know, when it comes down to it, that line between junk and a priceless souvenir is just so personal. It's entirely in the eye or maybe the heart of the beholder. A cheap plastic keychain could genuinely be the most valuable thing you own if it reminds you of your first solo trip, that feeling of independence.
Right. While an expensive bottle of duty-free wine might just be wine.
Exactly. A simple seashell picked up on a walk might hold far more romance and story.
There was that great quote in the sources. It's not hoarding if it tells a story. It's curating a life.
That really sums it up, doesn't it?
It does. It's about being intentional, being selective,
Wow.
letting your souvenirs be that breadcrumb trail, but mostly for yourself, leading you back to moments, feelings, versions of you.
So the question for you listening is maybe this. As you think about your next trip, or even look around at the things you already have, are your mementos truly telling your story? Or are they maybe just taking up space?
And looking ahead, what single, maybe unexpected object, something you wouldn't normally think of as a souvenir, could become your next really cherished memory anchor?
Mm.
Something to maybe ponder as you plan that next adventure, or even just as you tidy up your desk this week.